Okay, this is the previous one. I stopped on purpose like this because I believe that they're gonna try something to try to temper evidence again. I didn't stop that thing. They were not gonna. This file, I almost wish it didn't actually mention some other things. Not because I don't stand by them. I think it's already going to there. They're published now. It's scheduled to be. The issue is just because I think that that's a bit too not introductory anymore. Now this already into intermediary to in-depth knowledge on this crime to understand. It might come out as again batshit crazy as we've seen at first. And to be fair, if not for the genius plan today and all the tamperings you're witnessing it, very likely that I would generally feel afraid. I don't believe evidence. I don't. Every bit of thing they simulate because I eat the bike commercial. Whenever I'm gonna create another one and say that one is bad, I'm kind of doing right now. Ish. Because I mean, with the things that you're saying, I think it's pretty clear to understand what I'm saying, particularly about the criminal showing up. The parts you're gonna see right now. So this is a changing zooming. This is a known method that they follow. I did not stop this. This is, for me, this is the same one. They decided to stop this one. It's me waiting for that right? No, bye. No, maybe it was me. Someone was passing from one to the other. No, it wasn't. It was not. I remember. It was not. What's important to you seeing this? I actually want to show something inside in the screen to you. That was just in a rest position. As I was saying. Yeah. As you can notice, is that one? Yeah. So it's abrupt then. So that's easy math, about 10 minutes, so you have 2 minutes to disappear there, you got to listen to that in the audio. Or do you? No, you don't. There's still in the audio that was damaged there on the by them, the one you just saw. There was a bag kind of falling off by itself. I mentioned yesterday, the other day when the Coca-Cola fell on the ground and exploded. I couldn't confirm that they pushed. Because sometimes those plastic bags just do things like this. And I wanted to show that to you, but as you can notice the tempo with the audio. This is the thing that I said, the audio only works in the camera when the audio recording is on. And this is what happens when it's not. You listen to something? I'm talking. Yeah. Okay. And then is the next one, which was indeed started by me. So I said a bunch of important things, but they're tampering with it. So I'm actually wouldn't be anything beneficial to them. But I do actually explain that a little bit on the audio thing. So as far as the drug talk about tampering, listen to the audio. See if it sounds natural to you. They're throwing their drugs. Again, I was inside the elevator and okay, now they're gone. Only now when I got here, they could go drugs along there. I could do the very thing my body's complaining about. Now, just so you can still understand it, minimum levels of audio enhancement, we're gonna get that very clearly to understand. Today it's nothing. Mostly they just lower the volume of the primary those things that it's a known method that they do. They temper like this in so much evidence. Over there, they do smell right here, smelling coming from the teeth. Over there, Some of them are the crazy ones, or the things that is bouncing over my head back and forth. The ones that goes like this. Imagine that's my head, because clearly I'll be doing this, right? Makes perfect sense. But most of the other ones are discreet like this. All them tempering.
My body is a kid. All that happening on top of that, inside the cell, I was literally breathing down the chip again. The process is able to adapt to the without the so right here, I got here ninja. Chip was useful for me and it was.
By the way, remember how we have a war crime for sandwich concept? This is essentially the very basis, the very principle of how to turn a crime against humanity into some sort of sick entertainment joke. And when you see the level of things that they find funny, from the animal cruelty, as you witness, down to the most dehumanizing things you get to witness on video alone, on the rest, and the assumption that you can just put your hands on your hips and make it all go away and make it all be moral and good. Because again, it's not even like you cannot see it. You can. That's what they can see the versions of this that are unaltered, or at least have more than enough reasons to conclude all the tamperings are done by them. So this is beyond my control. The assumption that this is what I get by not complying. And again, you're gonna get a lot of things that boil down to the very core of the dehumanizing and disfranchisement. But suffice to say, the concept where you see in the bus company that it's okay so long as a bag is okay to ride a bus for free, mind you. This is what you hear a bus driver saying. It's again expressed throughout the script. Now, at the end of the day, that in itself, I think, was a bait for a type of another dehumanization, probably to get me not to be able to ride a bus at all. To imagine something along those lines, which, as I said, is either cruelty, an atrocity, a war crime, some dehumanization, something of this bizarre nature. So anyway, presumably a criminal arriving in front next to the car. As to the other side, you notice this because of the peculiar noise, as you heard, and behavior. As I said, the types of condition that come from this crime is one of the war crimes that I'm talking about. This is one of the dehumanizations they're being accused of. And you might not even get the face for the criminal, and they think that they're in the clear because they're essentially just opening a can or something. And yeah, I'm not even seeing a face. I'm not saying anything about that one criminal. I'm quite confused with the criminal, but no, you're stressing that too much. To you, instead, but there was a security guy passing as of this moment next to me, which probably have to be in the way from before, and a stalker passing behind it. The stalker that passed 3 times here, back and forth, holding a phone, pointing this way. So imagine if you can connect the dots, because there's nothing much to connect. For the most part, I'm discreet enough, they don't show up that much. Now it's difficult to move the phone connected to the thing. So they presume that with the difficulty, you get an extra layer of stuff. By the way, I should probably get the other phone in a more auspicious position to get that properly documented. But I was eyewitness to the events as I just described them to you a second ago. The passings around. Okay. But you have so much others. You notice my hair throughout all this? This is all caused by them for a variety of dehumanizations. It goes a long way. So you see them, several criminals just curling their hair as a mockery of that. You see them doing that very artificially. And that type of things that, again, reference that to you. No, that doesn't affect me to an immense degree, not as much as narcotics and all the other drugs that they use on me. But it is very good for you to see. And as I said, the reason that ties back many of those criminals is that, again, most of the time this is pretty obvious. It's difficult to say like this, but if you see it, you know it.
So, I can testify is the Russians that subscribe.
And they wanted me to do this, by the way. Probably didn't expect it to be as easy to show the more bizarre things. They probably expect more bizarre things to be used by them. As I said, the general concept that they have full control over. If I guarantee you, if some of those things are not properly demonstrated by me, they would not even they'll mention that as bizarre. So if I said something that you see, it'll be pointed out by them. Even now, they'll be taking this as suggestions, as if I was talking to them. And with this, again, they know that nothing stopped being backed up locally, nothing stopped being other places, and I don't put faith in just one, but YouTube is a very reliable authentication method. We cannot tamper with. We don't edit the video there, right? We don't, even if delete, still stay there for the link, so you cannot, if that's logged. it stays logged alongside probably duration and title and all the other things changed by the title. But anyway, for what it's worth. And funny enough, in countries a law matters, you see law enforcement often enough relying on those things, even the videos themselves, to catch criminals. So, as for the... But I'm just saying, see, in fearing those things you see now about the things they're doing to the phone as you're seeing it, if I wasn't able to show it to you, they would just mention me commenting on that, perhaps later, saying that it's absolutely ludicrous, insane, who would expect those things to be possible to go on their phone in a situation like that? Yeah, they go for what it goes for, and right now as you witness something like that. But you notice that, first off, the surrounding nature with criminals being in places, they're also crowding around me. That all boils down to the more physical aspect of this war crime, especially in concerns of conditioning, threats, intimidation, etc. That's what I said when I was talking about the random people there. They're consciously, not really. I mean, you should point at them as they're there listening to me attentively. But subconsciously, I don't know. Hopefully not that much.
There's a reason why I have things to work. And the reason is because actually we like people that attracted.
Again, just to clarify, no certain terms, they're all just being tampered with. That wouldn't be able to sound. I recorded this phone for a long time, even in this place for recent amounts of time. I would know how it sounds. This is not how it sounds. This is just being tampered with, much like the other things you saw. The interruptions, the zooming.
Because, as I said, the level of whatever the
yeah, in the previous screen recording, I think it was the one of the later ones, you see them straight up stopping or starting. No, it was this one, right? They started something? I think in the previous one, they started a video by themselves where the thing was facing to me the other way.
There was only a joke over there yesterday, but shut my mouth, say everything that they want to say. Also note that the only reason that nothing has changed. I was pointing something about the videos. I think I will then to work with those things again. Now, the only reason it stands to have used are the ones that people yesterday. Because all the other...
There. Notice the volume in the background? That was not said louder. Here's where my mouth is. I just want to clear this so that's not available anymore. I'm talking like this. My mouth is at the length of about this length from the phone in most parts. So, if it is like this, it would be about this length. That's I'm talking from the out of the thing, facing forward, like this. Okay? About this length. Perhaps a little bit longer. You listen to what random individuals passing by would say louder than when talking at this volume this close to the thing. So listen again.
I think it was done to work with those things again. Now, the only reason it stands to have used are the ones that people yesterday.
Facing the other way while going the opposite direction. And I'm literally talking straight into it. Facing the other way while going the opposite direction. It doesn't get much more explicit than that, does it?